If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sori says, $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. $125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at insori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go on the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed. A child shall lead them.
To buy our merch.
Yes,
okay, you guys.
This particular song is brought to you by the Big Homie Revo.
This entire week is brought to you by the Big Homie Revo.
This entire week is brought to you by the Big Homie Revo.
Hey, put him back up and stick him in the picture. It was cute. Martha and... Wait, whoops, sorry.
No.
That's not the right.
The Roaches.
The Beatles.
The Roaches, dear listener.
You finally made it, Dwayne. Here we go. I'm going to give it another 3.5. The Beatles-She Loves You is up next. This was released by Parlophone. I feel like I'm...
Parlophone Records.
On August of 1963 in the UK, which is the same month as the March on Washington. They started out doing a genre called skiffle, which was a British folk musicians combining rock sounds on their music. They basically combined everything you've heard up to this point into one package. The harmonies of Everly Brothers, the lyrical wit of Buddy Holly. Their producer, George Martin, did careful research, even touring record companies like Liberty Records in the US in preparing this group. This is an example of one of their hits that used folk chord changes, which was not common in rock music at the time. The call and response style is inspired by soul music and Motown songs, which McCartney has said this song is partially inspired by. The sarcastic yeahs you will hear might be the replies they envision the person they are talking to is responding to them as they tell them they should apologize to someone. The song had its American release a month later by Capitol Records and was one of their #1 hits as they took over the charts on both sides of the Atlantic. The Beatles' songs take over the charts and leads to a whole invasion of British groups like them into the American charts. The next year, when touring the U.S., they refused to play for segregated audiences. Oh, wow. Which forced Florida's Gator Bowl to change its stance on such and brought controversy from Southern conservatives. Well, shout out to the Beatles, then.
We can always rely on conservatives to be on the wrong side of fucking history.
No.
Holy shit. All right, here we go. The Roaches.
The Beatles-She Loves You.
The Crickets. The Ants.
Stop, babe.
The Beatles-She Loves You. By the way, if the fascists in the Beatles record label tries to shut us down, don't worry, we'll still be here. Just keep clicking and hang out for a little bit. We'll be back. She Loves You. Here we go. That was the Beatles. I was listening very, very intently.
Okay, so do you think, what? Do you think this got popularized because of sound or topic?
This song?
Yeah. I feel like the topic is something that's like normal to relationships, because it sounds to me like they had a fight and she's gone off. He thinks he lost her, and this guy's saying, no, yo, she still loves you. She was just talking about you today, but you gotta go apologize. She left in a huff.
Well, I mean, yeah, this is a guy telling his friend, you didn't lose her.
Yeah, she was talking about her.
Just apologize to her, basically.
That's what I just said.
Saying, right?
That's literally what I just said.
Yeah.
What?
A lot of repetition.
Yeah, they do that, I thought. I feel like that's what I've kind of seen. Like, they do the repetitive stuff. But, I mean, that's the basic gist of the story. And I feel like that's the story of love stories everywhere, you know? There's a fight that's had, you know. You did sort of see I couldn't tell you where I saw it, but I remember seeing a lot of, like, fights and a walkout. Somebody walks out after a fight. Mm-hmm. I mean, do you ever feel like walking out when there's a fight?
Yeah, but this guy is advocating for this girl. You know it's up to you.
Yeah.
I think it's only fair. Pride can only hurt you. Apologize to her because she loves you. Mm-hmm. I've never heard a song like that.
No, I have not
Where
either.
two lovers are fighting and then somebody else is saying, hey, she really loves you, man.
Just go apologize.
He's being a really good friend. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you right now. What is this? We've done 2 days so far. That's 16.
This is the third day.
This is the third. We're in the 5th song of day 3, so 20 songs. This, by far, is my favorite song from the 20 songs we've listened to so far.
Okay, why?
Well, I was focusing really intently on this song because I'm like, it's the Beatles and Dwayne and all the rest of it. And I'm like, listen, if this song is trash, I'm going to say it's trash.
We're going to have to say it.
Period. So I was really, really focusing a lot on the song and what I was listening to and all the rest of it. But first of all, hearing this song, I'm like, oh, okay, that's how they... Because that thing is so freaking catchy, bro. She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, that's gonna torment me at 3:30 in the morning tonight. Like, I'm gonna be hearing that, like, I'm like, okay, I understand that. But on top of that, lyrically, what he's saying is so freaking unique. I've never heard that before in a love song. Mm-hmm. So it looks like... Especially verse 3. I don't even know. Can you call it a love song? Is it... I mean, it's not even a love song, really. I mean, it's its own genre, right? Like, is there a genre where a guy is telling his buddy, you're being a dick to this girl, she loves you? What the fuck is...
This is your pride. This is your pride, man.
Yes, it's your... Like, what? That's like a lot of freaking wisdom.
Yeah.
Like, no disrespect to the other... The Bob Dylan song, that was really deep. And I think that song is a classic. This song is probably a big Beatles classic too. Dwayne, is this a big Beatles song?
This is the one that pushed them into fandom.
Yeah, but is it like where is it in the Beatles lore? Like, is this like?
Yeah, I don't know.
A big song? Because to me, I say, okay, if the Beatles can do multiple songs like this, I can kind of see the hype. But if this is their only song like this, where it's catchy but deep at the same time, then I'm still not going to give them the... To me, they're still overrated at this point. Even though this is my favorite song, I've only heard one song from them where I'm like, holy shit, okay, this guy's a genius. Because I really think that this is brilliant.
Yeah. I'm with you.
I really, really think that this is brilliant.
I really want to judge you.
I've never heard this before where somebody else is advocating for somebody else to be together. That's like unbelievable.
Yeah, there's that angle, but the other angle to me that was shocking was hearing verse 3. You know it's only up to you. I think it's only fair. Pride can hurt you too. Apologize to her. Like talking about, because pride is a big thing in relationships.
Oh my God.
You know, I think how much of the fights are based off pride? How much of the, you know, not talking for a little while is based off pride? Yeah, I think that's a huge thing, and I think that the more that both parties can put aside their pride, and I think that as both people grow it, like, you learn the other person, and you know, like, what not to say. And, you know, like, yesterday we got in a fight, and there was, like, literally, I had one thing that I was gonna say, and I'm like, that's the only thing you can't say is this one thing. Like, that's what I was telling myself. Like, I put that line, and, like, 10 minutes into the conversation, I blurted it out. I'm like, come on, sorry. I feel like because I told myself you can't say this, that, like, I just sat there waiting to say it. I don't know, like, and I really didn't want to say that. But I think that when...
All's fair in love and war.
When you can get... I don't... And this is, like, a new side of myself that I don't even recognize. Like, I've never been like that in...
Yeah, you saved all that stuff for me.
I don't know what it is.
I get beaten up at the mall. I get yelled at.
No, I've never put hands on. I haven't even slapped him. None of that. Blah, blah, blah. So don't say beaten up. You're gonna start thinking I'm Amber Heard or something. No, I've never put my hands on him.
Somebody's never went Amber Heard on me.
But I might do this because I get mad.
Yeah, you go like... Damn it, Jimmy! Yeah, your voice gets all high pitched. Go ahead.
But yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, like, once you learn each other and you mature, because I'm just gonna chalk that up to the immaturity. I don't know. I'm almost 40. It's kind of embarrassing. But, like, when you know, like, there's just certain things that should be off the table, and you know, like if I'm really stressed out, don't tell me to calm down. That's not gonna help me. You know, like, there's just certain things, like, when you learn somebody and you love the person, then you work on, you know, phrasing things a little bit better. Because the point is not to fight. The point is to communicate and to be able to come to an understanding at the end of the conversation. Which I think that you basically get that. For me, I'm always trying to defend myself because I always feel like, okay, now the war has begun. And it's very, very difficult for me to look at it as we're on the same side trying to fight for a common cause. I feel like, okay, now you took your stance over there. Well, I'm going to take my stance here. Yeah. And obviously that's not healthy. And that's not the way to come to the conclusion on things.
Well, that's what's so fascinating about this guy. He's coming in as a third party.
Yeah, and he's telling him she does love you.
That's why this song is so crazy to me, because it's so practical. And the other thing is, but it also has implications. Like, for example, why isn't she calling dude up and telling him, I love you, yada, 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 just apologize and we'll be square? Why can't she do that? Yeah,
because it says at the beginning.
Why does she need to go through a third party?
Yeah, it's true, because it says at the beginning, she said, she said you hurt her. She almost lost her mind, but now she said she knows.
You're not the hurting kind.
Right, so what? Yeah, I know.
Okay, well, if you really believe that, Shorty, then call him up, because he's not going to hurt you.
Yeah, but there was always like that, I remember that energy when we were teenagers, like, your friend gets involved, and you know what I mean? Like, it was...
Yeah, but your friend is always...
That's very childish.
Your friend is always on your side, though. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, if me and you were in some sort of jihad, I don't think Kim would come to you and say, oh, you're wrong on that.
No,
she's not going to say you're wrong. She's going to say, yeah, Vinny, what the hell is wrong with you? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's really fascinating to me to look at that, because I'm like, why don't people just communicate to each other? Like, why is that so difficult? And then me and you talk, I'm like, why don't you just tell me that? Like, why is it so...
Wait, tell you what?
Like, people are not like you,
Oh,
Vin.
Yeah.
With the communication thing, you're always like, people are not like you. People are not like you. I'm like, what? Okay, so I'm sure there's a lot of people who believe in communication in relationships.
Yeah, I don't know why I find it so difficult. And we talked about it like 2 weeks ago in one of these reviews. I was like, I get partway into the conversation, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh wait, I misunderstood what was happening in this conversation. But then it's too difficult to stop it.
She loves you, yeah.
Yeah, and then he said, I liked that part too, like, she loves you, yeah. With a love like that, you should be glad. Like, why it doesn't have to be like this. Like, just, you guys could be happy. Like, just work it out, man, you know?
Yeah, you should be grateful. You should
He said grateful?
Well, I mean, you should be glad basically means you should be grateful that you have somebody who loves you like that.
Yeah, I mean, like sometimes I think about it, I'm like, we found each other. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know, the chances that we were going to end up together, I mean, you know, in the one sense you could say it was 100% because it was meant to be. But on the other side, like, the circumstances that led us to be together were pretty friggin' insane.
Yeah, extremely.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, here we are, we're together. Like, is anything really that big of a deal? Is anything, you know, like, well, maybe not. Maybe everything's just being made to be a bigger deal. We could be happy, but we wasted that time, and then it's hard to reset after you've argued. It's like, now what do you do?
That's why I'm a big believer in you know, not wasting conflicts.
Oh my gosh, luminous night. I was in a relationship with that once.
I've been married for 20 years and we've never had a fight. Well, he's never had a fight in 20
Yeah,
years.
that, you know what? The difference is, so me and the other person, we didn't communicate. That's why we didn't fight. But if you can both communicate, as long as you guys are both communicating.
But again, and the other thing too is different couples have different standards for what they deem to be a fight in the first place.
Oh, I thought it said Vin is a good person. I was gonna.
No, BC would never say that.
I thought it was odd.
I'm a pod person.
I don't even know what that
pod
means.
Person means, but I'm sure it's not positive. But yeah, the other thing though is like, what does a couple consider a fight? Because I don't believe that every disagreement is a fight. I don't believe that every communication of, hey, when you did XYZ, I didn't like that. I don't consider that a fight either.
Yeah,
like
we were in a review a couple days ago, and I said something. I'm like, well, there you have it. You saw us fight, and you were like, that's a fight?
Yeah, I don't look at disagreements or even the expression of displeasure as a fight. Like, it's just it'd be like, you know where you're really big at with cooking. You're like, tell me exactly what you want in the food so it can be better. So it's like, but of course, where I'm coming from, I'm like, well, I had the same diet for literally 15 years, so anything you do is great.
That's like the only area I can handle criticism in.
But you're not interpreting that criticism of me saying I hate your food and we're fighting over the food.
No.
It's just, hey, this needs to change, or
yeah.
I want more of this or less of that.
Yeah.
That's how I'm looking at a lot of our relational issues. I look at it the same way. It's like, okay, I don't like this, you don't like that. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. Boom.
This is what I'll tell you.
I don't consider that a fight.
I totally see what you're saying. But with the cooking, I believe I can do better. I think I'm a badass cook. And I know that if you tell me the problem, I can make a fix for that. When it comes to parenting, and especially parenting, you know, the way that you parent, I don't believe that I can do that. I don't believe that I have, like, at this point in my life, the amount of patience that it takes to do that with this many kids. I don't believe that I have that, and I have no confidence in myself that I have that. So when you express a problem, I'm like, or when you even say that you don't agree with one of the things that I did, I don't feel that any of it can be fixed, and I just feel like that I'm just sinking. That's what happens. And so now I'm overwhelmed and blah, blah, blah. But now with the cooking, I'm like, I can fix that. Just tell me what the problem is. Too much whatever, too much this.
Right. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Because I'm like,
what is the difference?
Yeah, but to me, it's like that across the board. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, hey, I don't like this. Can we adjust this? You don't like that? I can adjust that. Oh, you don't want to adjust that? Why not? Here's why. Yada, yada. Okay, agree to disagree, whatever.
And
like,
I'm really bad at making adjustments when I'm in my feelings. So when you express a problem, I'm like, I can see in this moment that that's a problem. I just don't know how I'm going to fix that, because when I get in my feelings, I
so if we
feel
had a,
irrational.
If we had a third party like the Beatles, if we had Jordan Peterson, then it was funny because I was your Jordan Peterson before we were married.
Yep.
But I don't want to play that role anymore.
Yeah.
So like I purposely went out of my way to not be in that role.
Yeah.
Especially at the beginning, because you wanted to put me in that role at the beginning, and I was like, no. Mm-hmm. I want to be your husband. I don't want to be your whatever, mm-hmm. which is what I was before. And I think we found that transition was pretty difficult for us. I think
mm-hmm.
from you, was it from your vantage point?
Yeah, because I felt like I translated that as rejection. Because you were there, like, whenever, like, I had something and I didn't feel like, you know, maybe it took a long time to give me, you know, advice or whatever, but I didn't feel like that it did. I felt like you were able to just kind of give me the information, and then I was able to run with it. But then that transition, no, that didn't go well. But I think that, I think it's good if people have like a friend on this. It'd have to be Jordan Peterson. There's nobody else that can do this, because if they side with you, I'm gonna automatically think, they're just siding with you. I mean, they're siding with you. You know what I'm saying?
But but for me, there's no sides.
I can't get out of that
See
thought
what I'm
process.
saying?
Yeah. And I don't understand how to live in that world. There's sides, there's good and bad, there's black and white, there's...
It's always somebody to blame. Like, you can't...
Yeah, I know.
You can't let a bad situation happen. Somebody has to be blamed. Somebody has to pay the price.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, okay. Good
there
song.
you have it. So I think it's good. I think part of the reason it got popularized is because it's a common thing in relationships. So I can, and it had a fun little song, but it was definitely one of my best. It's a 9.6. Dwayne, 9.6.
The 10 for me. This has got to be one of their I'm not going to sit here.
9.8. 9.8.
10. I'm a Beatles expert, but this has got to be one of their bigger songs, right? I mean,
yeah,
it's got to be. All right, so I got to give it a 10. There you are, dear listener. It's a 10.
You see me?
What?
Pink said she and her hubby have therapist help on a daily.
Yeah. I mean, I just really don't think it's that. I just really don't think it's that big of a deal.
I know.
I just truly believe that if people just communicated and try to get the emotion and the defensiveness out of the way, then it would be, it's not that big of a deal. But again, it's like I say, before, everybody's captive to the story that they're in. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, there you go. All right, there you are, dear listener. A classic song by a band named The Roaches or The Crickets or something like that.
How dare you?
If I hear like 2 or 3 more songs like this, I'm going to be like, okay, I surrender.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All right, there you are, dear listener. We've got more songs coming for you on the way. Being out.
Sorry out.
Gone.